Hey folks, it's Mary, aka MercyTriumphs, and this is my channel, Slow Crochet. Today I am bringing you episode number 3 of the hashtag notsoscaryhalloween, which is a collaboration I am doing throughout the month of October with Lee Mack, with Cassandra of Craftably Ever After, and with Marcia of Mimi Makes Keepsakes. We are bringing you our own spin on the holiday, and a lot of it's the cuter side. So in my family, we don't really do Halloween, but I'm taking inspiration for this collaboration from 2 primary sources. Number 1, through literature, and number 2, through a phenomenon called trunk or treating, which is something that a lot of churches in my area, and maybe other areas too, will do as a way to help families have a safer, kind of still sugar-fueled dress-up experience, more family-friendly for the kids. So trunk or treating is basically a bunch of people decorating their cars, parking in a parking lot, and having the children come around and get their fill of candy, all dressed up. A lot of times the families will dress up a little bit too. So I am taking those 2 inspirations for my Not So Scary Halloween today, and this one I want to dedicate to Cassandra. She and Lee have been able to pull off this little trick, and I'm going to see if I can do it too. Okay, are you ready? 1, 2, 3. Did it work? Today I decided to take my inspiration from one of my favorite children's series. Maybe you know of it, maybe you recognize the little ears and the little bow as Sister Bear from the Berenstain Bears by Stan and Jan Berenstain. These are books that I grew up with, and now as a mom, I love reading them and having them read to me by my children. The one book that I thought of immediately when I was thinking of things that were a little bit spooky but not Halloween exactly was one of my favorite stories called The Spooky Old Tree. Now, this is an anthology, and you can get these books individually. They cover a range of topics, and they are so relatable. So just as a side note, some of my favorites involve manners, sharing, new siblings, things like that. So in The Spooky Old Tree, you have 3 little bears, one with a light, one with a stick, and one with a rope. And they approach the spooky old tree. Do they dare go into that spooky old tree? Yes, they dare. So I love these books. That one in particular just is so beautifully illustrated. It really captures the feeling of childhood through the eyes of these 3 little bears. So I made my bear ears, and I made my sister bear bow. So to make the bear ears, I just took a standard teddy bear type pattern. I started with a magic ring and did 6 single crochets, and then I just increased around till I had 12 and then 18, and I went on around until I got about the size circle I wanted based on the size of clip that I was using. Then I just followed it on down and folded it over and sewed it onto a clip. And with a little bit of extra yarn, I'm not sure if that'll show up, but I tried to do the little curly Q that mimics the bear's ears in our Berenstain Bears. The clip that I used, I don't even remember how long I've had these basic little kind of alligator clips. You could use anything, but what I like about these is they have a little space in the middle. And to be honest, the hardest thing about making these was just trying to sew them on. I could have rustled through my sewing gear and found my curved needles, but I just went with what I had. So it took a few little tries, but I got there in the end. In honor of Sister Bear, who has her cute little bow, I made something a lot simpler. Just some rows of half double crochets, and then I decreased down, and then I increased back out. Really hard to mess this one up, and then I just wrapped around some plain yarn, and I slipped the clip right in there. And actually, that's kind of a cute look in and of itself. So maybe I can wear that outside of just trunk or treating. And that's actually my heart with this idea too, that you can wear these little clips for other occasions. Just plain old dress up, anytime you want to have maybe a teddy bear's picnic, or maybe you are pretending to go on a bear hunt and someone is the bear that's hiding under the table or hiding under the fort, or maybe you're hibernating in a cave and you have your pillows and you're watching a movie and you have your flashlight. There's so many different ways that your imagination can just go with something simple like this, and it's a nod to a costume without really being a costume. So that is my cuter side of hashtag notsoscaryhalloween, and I hope that you've enjoyed it. I do hope also that you'll go and check out Cassandra and Marcia and Lee Mack. And there are other YouTubers who have jumped on board this hashtag, so if you're interested in seeing any of those videos as well, and I highly recommend that you do go check them out, just click on the hashtag in the video description or in the video title below, and it ought to pop up all kinds of videos on the same theme. Thank you to everyone who has been part of this collaboration. Thank you to everyone who has come along for this joyful little ride. I'm having such a wonderful time seeing the things that my friends are coming up with. Their creativity is just amazing to me. I love that we all bring a different approach to this one concept. We can all get inspiration from one another. Thank you to everyone who has liked, shared, commented, and subscribed, all that kind of YouTube-y stuff. Y'all are super encouraging and super fun. I love hanging out with y'all in the comments section. And if I'm not your cup of tea, thank you so much for listening this long. I do appreciate it, and I hope I'll see you again soon. Bye!